today's video, how stage 5 CKD patients withdrew from dialysis in 4 months and preserved their renal function for years with just 2 tablets a day. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and today we will see how to take control of your own health in all the stages of kidney disease, stage 5 included. In particular, we're going to see the 7 tips every single patient needs to follow in order to restore their acid-alkaline balance. Now, having too much acid in your blood, that doesn't exactly sound like a recipe for good health, right? In fact, the organ that takes the hardest hit from this all too common issue are your kidneys. But here's the burning question. Is removing excess acid from the kidneys really the secret to avoid dialysis? Well, yes, it can be. In fact, the 7 tips I'm going to share in today's video are not just based on my experience with patients. They are also based on a case report published on the Global Clinical and Medical Case Reports Journal. In this study, the stage 5 patient stopped dialysis and avoided it for years just by restoring the correct acid-alkaline balance in their body. Yeah, as incredible as it may seem, just with some dietary changes and 2 tablets a day of a single supplement, all aimed at keeping their acid-alkaline balance under control, the patient stopped dialysis. Let's see immediately what supplement they used in this study. Number 7, a supplement that removes excess acid. As we have seen, documented cases show patients with almost no residual kidney function getting off dialysis thanks to this supplement. One man on dialysis for 6 months started a renal diet and took this supplement. He was off dialysis in just 4 months. And what is this miracle supplement? You probably have it in your kitchen. Sodium bicarbonate, or as I like to call it, the only baking ingredient that's actually a medicine for CKD patients. But what's the right way to supplement sodium bicarbonate, you may ask? Before we get to that, a little disclaimer. Technically, sodium bicarbonate is not a supplement when it comes to CKD patients. It's a medication. Some patients are getting it from a pharmacy and with a prescription from their doctors. But unfortunately, this is not always the case. But here's the issue. Too many doctors in 2024 are still forgetting to tell their kidney patients how crucial sodium bicarbonate is. I see too many patients not being prescribed this life-saving medication even when they need it the most. Even worse, many of you aren't even being prescribed the right tests to determine if you need sodium bicarbonate. So today, we're going to take matters into our own hands. We're going to learn how to do what your doctor should have done all along before their inaction pushes you closer to renal failure and dialysis. Because the truth is, your health is too important to wait on someone else to take the lead. It's time to step up, take control, and make sure you're giving your kidneys exactly what they need. Number 6, how to take sodium bicarbonate correctly. Now guys, in my career as a counselor for CKD patient, I have seen people taking sodium bicarbonate in the most, let's say, creative ways. I'll give you some examples of what not to do with sodium bicarbonate. Okay, you see what their problem is? Yeah, they are taking too much. The way you should take sodium bicarbonate is less like that and more like this. So you can see in my slide on screen right now what a standard starting dose for this supplement is. Now guys, what's even more important than avoiding to take too much sodium bicarbonate is finding the correct dose for this supplement/medication. So let's help your doctor do their job again and maybe avoid their next malpractice suit by figuring out how to take sodium bicarbonate correctly in the most scientific way. The very first thing you need to look at is your current CO2 level. Now this level is probably indicated as bicarbonate on your lab reports and it's supposed to be at least 23. If this value is 22 or below, you need sodium bicarbonate, alright? By the way, this is textbook Kidney Disease Treatment 101, not some weird supplementation strategy I made up on the spot. So this level should be 23 at least. Think of it like your kidneys are in school. If they're scoring below 23, they're failing. Now, what if you don't know what your CO2 level is? Simple. Talk to your doctor or your lawyer. Just saying. Anyway, how much sodium bicarbonate do I actually need, you ask? So, this you see on screen is the calculation that needs to be done to find the correct dose. Don't worry, I won't put you to sleep with those numbers. I'll just give you the gist. The goal is to get your serum bicarbonate level between 24 to 28 ml equivalents per liter. And as fast as possible. Yeah, let's take your kidneys out of that acid bath before it's too late. Now, for example, if a patient had a CO2 level of 21, they would have been given 4,010 milligrams of sodium bicarbonate per day. That's a lot more than the starter dose that was used in the study we have seen in the beginning. Alright? And I know it sounds complicated, but hey, this is what doctors are supposed to be for, right? I mean, when they're not too busy, Googling symptoms or asking WebMD if their headache means they're Okay. Jokes aside, bottom line here is make sure you are at least getting tested for serum bicarbonate level, and your doctor should be able to calculate your sodium bicarbonate dose for you and prescribe accordingly. And of course, you can also contact me and schedule a consultation with me if you want to make sure you are not being neglected. Any basic medication all kidney patients should be prescribed. But how do we make sure you don't need this amount of baking soda by the end of the calculations? Well, that's our number 5 for today. Make sure your renal diet is alkaline. Now, I started this video showing you how stage 5 CKD patients have avoided dialysis. Yes, avoided dialysis by taking sodium bicarbonate. But of course, sodium bicarbonate was just part of the therapy. It was a side dish, not the main course. Because let's face it, when it comes to kidney disease, nothing, and I mean nothing, works if you're not following a proper renal diet. In particular, achieving the outstanding result of being able to avoid dialysis for years is only possible when following a plant-based renal diet that's also alkaline. This is why you'd better start eating those veggies, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like your kidney health depends on it. And yes, I know the naysayers in the back are rolling their eyes, thinking, but I need my steak. Veggies are for rabbits. To them, I will only tell one thing. I've never seen in my career, not once, a stage 4 or 5 CKD patient that got an improvement without following a plant-based renal diet. Not a single one. But hey, if I ever find a miracle carnival kidney recovery that's actually documented, I'll make a video faster than a cat meme goes viral. Heck, I'd probably make a whole series about it. But guess what? That video doesn't exist because it's not happening. So no, this isn't about demonizing meat or pushing a save the planet, eat kale agenda. I'm just saying to save your kidneys and new flash. Broccoli is way better at that than a ribeye because one of those foods is alkaline forming and the other is acid forming. Yeah, my goal is getting more of you guys to improve, and how can you do that? By aggressively reducing the protein and acid sources in your diet. And this brings us to the number 4. And the question is, what are the biggest sources of acid in the diet? Well, the worst offenders are meat, fish, dairy, and all those animal-based protein sources. Actually, the main reason why animal-based foods are acid-forming are amino acids containing sulfur, such as methionine and cysteine. After you eat a big steak, these guys don't just sit quietly in your body. They get busy, oxidizing into sulfate and creating, roll please, sulfuric acid. Yeah, you heard that right, sulfuric acid. And for those of you who missed chemistry class, sulfuric acid is the kind of acid they used to call vitriol.
No, I never heard of it.
Fun fact, sulfuric acid is also an industrial chemical that's used to, manufacture other acids. Actually, in factories, this acid gets watered down to make acids that are more, oops, grab them up, and less, oops, call the contractor, we need a new floor. You know, the kind that won't melt through everything if you happen to spill it. But yeah, if you are in an advanced stage of kidney disease and you eat too much meat, your kidneys are going to face this industrial acid. Now, the only thing that can buffer this acid is bicarbonate. And the kidneys have the role of both reabsorbing bicarbonate and expelling this dangerous acid. This is why if your diet produces too much acidity for your kidneys to handle, you will see your serum bicarbonate levels decrease. Okay, but what does this mean in a practical way? Well, to put it simply, there are foods you need to avoid and foods you need to eat more often. If we look at this image, we can easily understand that, well, meat is the worst thing you can eat. Fish is just the same basically. Dairy, oh, it's terrible too. Grains, they're like Switzerland, neutral, not really helping nor hurting the acid balance, but they can help in other ways. Then, we can find some foods that will actually decrease the acid load on the kidneys. The foods that are alkaline forming. And guess what? Those are the foods you want to base your diet on. Number 3. So question, what are the foods that actually remove acid? If your goal is protecting your kidneys from this dangerous acid, what you want to eat more of are fruit and veggies. Looking at this image, we can easily see that both fruit and veggies are on the right side of the chart, meaning that they have the benefit of protecting the kidneys from acid. But vegetables, greens in particular, are on the very top here. Some of the most alkaline forming include spinach, kale, Brussels sprouts, fennel. And have you noticed how the most kidney protecting alkaline veggies are also high in potassium? That happens because potassium itself is very alkaline. But what if you still need to limit your intake for this mineral? Well, no worries, there's still hope for you in the form of low potassium acid slaying veggies. One example is kohlrabi. Yeah, I know you've probably never heard of it, but trust me, this Brassicaraceae family member is a real kidney saver. This is a vegetable that comes either in green or purple and can be eaten raw or cooked. It is very alkaline at Pral minus 5.6, and it is also rich in many of the micronutrients kidney disease patients are often deficient in. By the way, the Pral is simply a way to measure the amount of acid the food adds to or removes from the body. The lower the better. Another food with a great Pral score is the bell pepper. When eaten raw, peppers have a Pral score of minus 3.5, and they are low in calories and exceptionally rich in vitamin C, vitamin B6, folic acid, and other antioxidants. And this makes the bell pepper a great addition to any healthy diet. Now, green leafy vegetables. They're basically the overachievers of the veggie world, always top of the class, best scores, and yes, dominating the Pral score charts as well. Arugula, for example, has a Pral score of minus 7.5, which is incredible. Arugula is a cousin of broccoli, kale, and cabbage and shares many of their health benefits. Not to mention that arugula is also a source of nitrates, just like beets, for example. These foods have a vasodilating effect that actually improves blood flow and fights hypertension. And these are my top picks, but of course, if you don't need to limit potassium, you can eat all the veggies in this list, no problems. In any case, add as many veggies, greens in particular, to your diet. Now guys, number 2. This is a tip I really want to give you from the bottom of my heart. Don't be scared of going low protein. When I tell patients to completely stop eating meat, pork, bacon, ham, cheese, fish, and yes, even bacon, it's like asking them to delete the YouTube app from their phone. Pure heresy. Yeah, some patients are very skeptical about going low protein, and I get it. It's human nature to resist anything that sounds like a life without bacon. I mean, it's like when the doctor says, hey, you need to stop drinking, and you're thinking, well, there goes my Saturday night. Or when they say, you should really stop smoking, and you're like, okay, but what am I supposed to dramatically wave around while I rant about my ex-wife? But here's the thing, protein is an essential nutrient, not some dangerous vice. This is why it's perfectly normal that people are even more reluctant to completely change this habit. So does that mean you should go on and keep eating steak and bacon every day? Well, of course not. Those do qualify as bad habits if you have kidney disease. Look, I want to read you a comment to explain this even better. This is from a user called 13gladius28, and I believe they are knowledgeable about the subject of the renal diet. Let's read it. Limiting the amount of protein and including more plant-based foods in the diet may help slow the loss of kidney function. And that's true, of course. But then they also say, however, too little protein can cause you to lose muscle mass, become weak, and increase your body's acid load. And that's what many people are afraid of. So, will you become weak if you don't eat steak anymore? Well guys, this is actually true, on paper. So the reason why 13gladius28 and many like them are so afraid of becoming weak is a phenomenon called catabolism. This can happen in patients suffering from something called protein energy wasting, or PEW in short. And it's a predictor of mortality, as we can see. So, will you suffer from an early death if you skip that morning egg and bacon? Well, it's actually very unlikely. Look guys, you know what kind of patient suffers from PW? Those tied to a hospital bed and that are being fed through a tube. Patients that are in their 80s or 90s and that weigh 70 pounds. So, if you're watching this video while battling for your life because you are malnourished, please go on and eat whatever you can to save your life. You have my blessing. But if you are literally anyone else, make sure you are receiving dietary advice from a licensed professional and that you are not just being fed misinformation from the web. Because let's face it, if it's on the internet, it must be true, said Albert Einstein, right? Okay, and this brings us to our number 1 for today. And this is going to answer the question, what do we do if a patient needs to strictly limit their protein intake but they are at risk for malnutrition? Well, first of all, we make sure the patient is not in a caloric deficit. In fact, if a patient cannot eat enough calories every day and they are already underweight, removing calories from their diet other than just protein is a big no-no. So less protein, more carbs, and especially more fats. And then, of course, we also give them a supplement of essential amino acid. This is a special type of amino acids called keto analogs. These are little miracles in pills. They replace the protein you would have gotten from eating that steak, but without any of the negative consequences. And guess what? These supplements are so helpful your doctor is supposed to prescribe them to you. Now, if you want to learn more about this topic, my video up here is for you. In this video, the ultimate tier list of kidney health supplements. You heard it right, guys. This is the best video for all CKD supplements because I'll rank them from S tier, these are the life changers, to D tier, trash supplements that are about as helpful as trying to hydrate with Coca-Cola. Catherine here, I'm a doctor in natural medicine, and in today's video, I will rank all the most common supplements for kidney disease. Don't miss the S tier supplements because we are going to see some real kidney savers in that category. We are going to see supplements that destroy proteinuria, supplements that have gotten people out of dialysis, and more. But this is not just about the good ones. This is about ranking some of the supplements you may be already taking. So let's see how the ranking list works. We've got 5 tiers: S tier, superior only, the elite supplements with the most research backing them. Make it here. These are the supplements everyone should take. Second rank is A. These supplements are very useful, reliable, and highly recommended. B rank means these could be good for some people, but they have drawbacks or side effects. C rank, the drawbacks are too significant to be considered. D rank, these are just as helpful as eating French fries to get more fiber in your diet. Let's hope none of these D tier supplements is in your pantry. So let's start immediately with Moringa.
Are you taking it regularly? Yes.
Now, Moringa gets a lot of hype for its antioxidants like flavonoids and phenolic acids, and it does reduce inflammation. But here's the thing, what Moringa does for CKD patients, and that's bad because we can't really consider it safe for everyone. Not to mention that it has potential interactions with common medications, including blood pressure medications and anticoagulants. So Moringa is C tier, meaning that I wouldn't recommend this one until a lot more studies are done on it. There are better supplements for lowering inflammation out there. So that's how the list works. By the way, today I won't talk about stuff such as sodium bicarbonate, magnesium, or calcium carbonate because those are actually considered medications and should be taken based on serum levels, which means I can't rank them. They could be S tier for a patient and D tier for another. I also won't include vitamins because otherwise this video would be an hour long and I would have to read 1,000 comments telling me that my videos are too long. So, if you also want me to make a separate video for vitamins, let me know, leave a comment. And in any case, keep in mind that you need to consult with your doctor before taking any of these supplements. Another important thing to add here is that I'm not selling any of these supplements. I have just spent, an infinite amount of time studying and testing them, and I want to share my findings with you. Okay, up next, a supplement that I rarely mention here, taurine. Yeah, like in Red Bull. Don't drink Red Bull, by the way. But it's taurine. But is taurine good for kidney health? Taurine is amino acid with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It is also involved in the fluid balance of the body. In fact, someone who is deficient in this antioxidant may really benefit from supplementing it. Taurine has also been found to have positive effects on diabetes and high blood pressure, and this makes it useful for some patients. There are, however, not enough studies to recommend this one to everyone. So it's a B-tier supplement, not top tier, but could work if you're into doing your own research. Okay, let's talk about everyone's favorite, NAC. So, is NAC S tier? A kidney saver that will make it onto the Mount Olympus of supplements? Actually, it's very close. NAC is one of the most powerful antioxidants we have available. It has a great safety profile, and the only patients who should be very careful with it are those on anticoagulants. But let's face it though, if you're on blood thinners, everything should come with a warning label. For everyone else, NAC is great. You will see the results on your lab reports. This supplement directly reduces oxidative biomarkers in CKD patients, which means that it protects the kidneys from diabetes, for example, and from other sources of oxidative damage. And this is why this is going to be A tier, not S tier, sorry. And the reason for that being that there are not enough high quality, large scale trials supporting its use in all CKD patients yet, maybe in the future. Now, NAC is a precursor of glutathione, the master antioxidant. Is glutathione going to be in S tier then? Well, it is not. I don't actually recommend supplementing glutathione. Oral glutathione is about as effective as buying a fake designer bag on eBay. You're paying, but you're not really getting the goods. In fact, while intravenous forms of this antioxidant, if administered in clinical settings, could potentially provide antioxidant benefits, the oral form you can buy from Amazon is not bioavailable, which means you are going to get the side effects but not the benefits. Kind of like ordering salad at a steakhouse. Disappointment all around. This is why glutathione is C tier at best. Up next, one of my absolute favorites, a supplement backed by thousands of studies, Kyolic garlic pills. Now, garlic itself is an amazing food for kidney health. It reduces cholesterol, fights diabetes, has antioxidant properties, and can practically charm blood pressure down from the heavens. Okay, is this finally the first S-tier supplement? Almost, but not quite. The pill version doesn't hold a candle to real crushed raw garlic, so you will have to take several pills per day, and this has a cost and can have other minor side effects as well. But hey, don't get me wrong, garlic pills are still an A-tier supplement, and they could be S-tier for some patients because they have a similar effect on that of blood pressure medications, but without any of the side effects. By the way, guys, the only reason why I recommend Kyolic garlic over the other brands is because this brand is the most studied in scientific literature. I'm not in any way affiliated with this particular brand. There are in fact also other brands you could consider, including Garlic, Allicin, Max, Nature's Bounty, Now Foods, and more. And these are widely used and very popular, just not as studied as Kyolic. Okay, up next, a class of supplements that's extremely popular on Amazon. I'm talking about Kidney Cleanse supplements from Amazon. Now guys, if you head over Amazon, and I bet most big supplement stores, you will see an infinite number of supplements marketed as kidney cleanses or kidney support or something like that. These kidney supplements are popping up faster than false promises during a political campaign. And every time one of my patients tells me they've started taking one of these mystery mixes, my stress level goes up like gas prices on a holiday weekend. So, drumroll please, random kidney cleanse supplements from Amazon have officially earned their place as the first D-tier disaster of the day. Yes, avoid these at all costs. Think of them as the spike punch of kidney supplements. One sip and you might regret it. But why are they so bad, you might ask? Well, here's an example. This is called Kidney Cleanse from Dr. Bo. Let's look at the ingredients. Oh, cranberry extract. This is for preventing UTIs. You probably don't need it. And then there is birch leaf, bachu leaf, goldenrod grass, horsetail, juniper berry. These are mostly diuretics. Sure, they might be okay for someone with a UTI or kidney stones, but if you're already on prescription diuretics for CKD, these mystery ingredients could lead you to dehydration, faster than hiking in the Sahara Desert. Oh, and let's not forget the grand finale, Chanca Piedra, only good for kidney stones and cassia cinnamon. Now, if you're taking cinnamon for diabetes, you need Ceylon, not cassia. Cassia cinnamon can even mess with your liver, just in case you didn't have enough problems to begin with. So in short, if you want to know why your nephrologists get as jittery as a cat at a dog show every time you mention any supplement, this cocktail of herbs is your answer. Dear, don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, up next, a hidden gem. This is Berberine. This is a supplement that lowers cholesterol, helps with weight loss, diabetes, it has anti-inflammatory effects, and it even has mild antimicrobial effects that can support gut health. Now, the effect of Berberine on blood sugar levels is so noticeable, there are even PCP that are recommending it as a first-line treatment for prediabetes and diabetes instead of metformin. This happens especially in Italy, Spain, and other countries with a public health system. Now, of course, I absolutely love Berberine, but is it S tier? Well, it definitely is S tier for diabetes patients, but since it also has some side effects and its effect is not direct to the kidneys, I wouldn't recommend it to patients without diabetes. So, this is in A tier, but with an asterisk that means it's S tier for diabetes. Up next, let's talk about probiotics. Okay, here's another supplement I have recommended several times here on Alkaline, and for good reasons. Emerging research supports the use of certain strains of probiotics for reducing uremic toxins production in CKD, which means your gut can help remove some of the toxins your kidneys usually handle. This will in turn reduce the workload on the kidneys. It's like hiring an intern to do the grunt work so your kidneys can chill for a minute. And here's the deal with probiotics. Basically, anyone can take them. They do not interact with basically anything. The only patients I would be careful recommending probiotics are those with irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or other bowel diseases. And while for these patients, these supplements could be a lifesaver, they come with a problem. In fact, most probiotic supplements contain inulin or chicory, which are prebiotics designed to feed the bacteria in those pills. However, people with bowel issues may be sensitive to these ingredients, and the supplements may do them more harm than good. The solution? Find a low FODMAP probiotic. There are some brands that are suitable for people requiring a low FODMAP diet, and these include Align, Visibiomi, VSL number 3, Fluorastor, and Good Belly. But you see, even with this small issue, probiotics are one of the best supplements CKD patients could take. This is why they are definitely an S tier supplement. Oh, finally, an S tier supplement. Now guys, as I was saying, probiotics have been thoroughly studied in CKD patients, and it has been found out that only certain bacteria species can help with CKD. I'm talking about bacteria from the Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium families. So make sure your probiotic mostly has these species, but these actually the vast majority of probiotic brands. Up next, we're talking about the holy grail of every influencer's pantry. Celtic salt. I mean, not that there is the need to still talk about this stuff. Oof.
Celtic sea salt.
Celtic salt.
Celtic salt. I let my Celtic salt.
Celtic salt or
Celtic, or you might pronounce it Celtic.
Oh, Celtic salt has more hype than the latest reality show Breakup. And you know what? It's just salt, glorified, overpriced salt. Influencers say it's better because it has trace minerals, potassium, calcium, a sprinkle of magnesium, but these are in such microscopic amounts. You'd get more minerals licking a rock in your backyard, and with less sodium as well, and for free. Anyway, for CKD patients, sodium is literally public enemy number 1. So this fancy health salt will spike your blood pressure faster than finding out your ex is engaged. This one gets a hard D tier actually. Scratch that. This is F tier. Yes, this stuff is so bad I had to add 2 new levels just to rank it low enough. Okay, up next, let's talk about the powerful antioxidant that can reduce oxidative stress. Astaxanthin. This has become very popular lately due to its antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and potential kidney health promoting properties. Some supporters of this supplement say that it's 100 times stronger than other antioxidants like beta-carotene and vitamin E. And that would be amazing because oxidative stress is a cause for kidney damage. Astaxanthin is commonly available in pill or soft gel form, often derived from algae. But how does this antioxidant rank in our tier list? Well, despite the huge potential this supplement has, it is a B tier supplement. And the reason? While this supplement is generally considered safe and antioxidants are known to be very helpful with CKD, research specific to CKD is limited today, and there are other antioxidants that are more studied. An example, CoQ10. Now, CoQ10 is probably one of the most effective antioxidants for people with CKD. This is actually the only antioxidant that was ever used to get CKD patients out of dialysis. This is an antioxidant, a vitamin-like molecule that helps convert food into energy, and it's also crucial for cell growth and maintenance. But while the body can make a little bit of CoQ10, in many people this production is so low that it can cause something similar to a vitamin deficiency. This happens especially in patients of conditions that are associated with oxidative stress like CKD, and in people who are 50 or older, and in those taking statins. So if you are in any of these categories, CoQ10 is definitely S tier for you. Up next, let's talk about a supplement that's as controversial as pineapple on pizza, cod liver oil. Now, on paper, this is an amazing supplement. It's a source of omega-3 fatty acids. It contains vitamins with antioxidant properties such as vitamin A and vitamin E, all of which can have benefits for kidney health. Especially the omega-3's content has been associated with reduced inflammation, reduced proteinuria, reduced risk for cardiovascular disease. There's just a big problem with this supplement, the very high vitamin A content. Cod liver oil is high in vitamin A, which can be toxic even in the amounts you would get from this supplement if you have CKD. This is not a safe supplement to take long term, and even if it has benefits, it is still D tier. Yeah, D tier as in don't ever think about it. And you know what has the benefits of cod liver oil without the negatives? Omega-3 supplements. Okay, this stuff is so good. Next time your nephrologist says no supplements, you should look them straight in the eye and say, not even omega-3s? And I'm not even kidding. Yes, as I was saying, omega-3s are amazing for kidney health, especially but not just if you are following a renal diet. These supplements can really help. There is a huge amount of research, probably more than any other supplement, supporting the use of omega-3s in CKD patients. Omega-3s, especially high-quality supplements with a good amount of EPA and DHA in them, is definitely an S-tier supplement. No doubt about it. Okay, up next, let's talk about curcumin. This is something you don't even need to buy on Amazon. Even adding turmeric to your meals is already very helpful as long as you use black pepper as well. However, curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric, comes with so many health benefits. I have often recommended it as a supplement to many of my patients. And why, you ask? Well, because curcumin's anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects are so powerful that you will see an improvement in inflammatory markers in just a few weeks of taking this supplement. And as we have seen, reducing the inflammation is exactly what we want if our goal is to stop kidney disease. Now, this effect is so powerful, even patients suffering from high proteinuria levels may benefit from curcumin. Another huge benefit of curcumin, this supplement is amazing for gut health. And I really wanted to put this in the S tier, however, it has interaction with anticoagulants, just like most supplements out there, so it's only going to be A tier. Still an amazing supplement. And guys, if you want to learn more about how to use some of these supplements, my video up here is for you. And if I missed some of your favorites, let me know in comment section. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.